When I read the gospel for the Mass today, I at first decided to read the shortened form because it leaves out all the part about the steward cheating his master. It's a confusing parable to read. But after some prayer and reading and thought, I decided to go ahead and read the whole thing and try to make some sense of it. I think one of the things we have to realize is that Jesus did not intend for his teachings to be entirely clear. He wanted people to stew over what he said and try to figure out what he meant. And maybe they wouldn't always come to the same conclusion. One of the interesting things, I think, is that this parable begins chapter 16. The end of chapter 15 is the story of the prodigal son. And there are parallels between the two stories, because in both instances, both the younger son and the unjust steward did not do anything illegal. But the fact of the matter is, we feel like it was unethical. First of all, for the younger son to demand his inheritance early and to add insult to injury, to go off and squander what his father had given to him, didn't seem quite right. By the same token, it didn't seem quite right that the steward would forgive some of the debt owed to his master. In both instances, they came out okay. The younger son came home, and there was a great party when he got home. And in the gospel today, the master commends him for making friends in the way that he did. The word that is used in reference to the prodigal son and the unjust steward are one and the same, because the two of them were very much alike. I think one of the things that Jesus is trying to get across, especially in the story we just read, is that sometimes people who consider material things the most important show far more ingenuity than his followers do to promote the kingdom. And as he says at the end of the gospel, you cannot serve both God and mammon. Now, material things are part of our life, and obviously we have to deal with them. But on the other hand, the things of God are of eternal importance, and they should carry much more importance with us. So I think Jesus is simply trying to say that the younger son in the parable of the prodigal son and the unjust steward served their own needs. But we are called not to simply serve our own needs, but to serve the growth of his kingdom. And so we are called upon to realize what is really most important in our life, and that is our relationship with God.